Hey, Lisa here, and I want to talk about a huge productivity no-no. It's about urgent and important and emergencies and fires and the common refrain I hear all the time, my day blew up. So let's talk about what that looks like specifically in the workplace. One of my clients, when we were talking about one of the challenges she has as well as her employees, she said it's that we get doing something and then something urgent happens and it throws us off what we had planned to do for the day, and we fall further and further behind on the things that are important. And so I asked her to share with me specifically what she meant. This organization sees clients by appointment only, and there are lots of reasons why they do that, and the reason that they excel at what they do is because they are by appointment only because there's a lot of prep that goes into what they do when they're working with a client. And so one of their emergencies or fires or last minute things that throw them off what they're doing is when a client shows up without an appointment and they choose to see this client anyway. And we had to dig in a little bit to figure out what exactly was it that was happening that consistently that was throwing them off their game. And that's what it was. Clients showing up without an appointment and then they chose to see them anyway. So we worked through, okay, what would a legitimate client emergency be that you would be willing to lower your standard of service because you needed to see them in quicker? Identify that spot first and then move into the next place of, okay, now how do we deal with all these other people who don't hit that criteria, that aren't really an emergency? Sometimes it's poor planning on their part. Other times it's just unaware of the process, whatever it may be. How do you deal with that? So they created a really awesome structure on how to deal with people who came who were walk-ins that they were not able to accommodate. They were able to create a structure around what it looks like for them to be able to accommodate. And that drastically helped reduce the amount of time that they were spending putting out fires and doing unexpected things and throwing them off what they had decided was most important to accomplish for the day and for the week. So how do you relate that to you? Well, the first thing is start to identify your fires. What is a real fire in your business? What really is something that you would choose if given the space to think? You would choose to throw everything out the door and work just on that. Identify those first so that you know what they look like, because then everything else is not a fire, it's just unexpected. So do that for you as the owner, but also help your employees work through that too. Sometimes you can send an email to an employee that they think, oh my gosh, I have to drop everything to handle this. And in all reality, what you're saying is, hey, here's something that's in my head. And over the next week or two, I'd like you to think about it and come back with some ideas. Two different things, same email, two different perspectives. So identify what's a real fire in your business and for your employees. And then also look at, okay, what's the structure on how we're going to deal with when it is a fire and when it's not. What was really cool about this training is that while we were in the middle of discussing what was and what was not an actual reason to allow a client to come in without an appointment, one came to the door and someone stood up and said, here, let me go handle that, and then stopped, and everyone goes, wait a minute, that's not a fire. We can let the receptionist go ahead and handle it, and we can continue what we're doing. So in a real world, every time I trained, the skill we were training on would be implemented and would pop up immediately afterwards. However, in the real world, that doesn't always happen, but it sure is awesome when the challenge is identified and then right away the challenge appears and the group that I'm working with is able to handle it the way that they've decided they want to handle it. So your job right now is a big one. Write down what real fires are in your business and for your employees in the comments below, and we can I'll help you troubleshoot how you can go around those. So put them in right now.